Okay, let's see here. Should probably make sure that I post that I am live. I think that is something I forgot to do. Let's see here. Doing some Final Fantasy XIV restrictions runs. Actually, I think I'll hold off on that for right now. Let me make sure I'm actually working right now. It seems like everything's alright. We don't need the chat here. So then where do I put you? I guess I could put you right there. Alright, I'll just restore the chat then. Put you on the other side. Okay. Let's see here. Alright. Cool. Let's see if this works. Alright, we're in. Now, I'll give it a little bit of time. But we need to see... Alright, I need to make sure that I am ready to go for what I have planned for today. Open up my notes. I need to do Grand Company stuff. Need to find a Grand Company, which that shouldn't be too difficult. We need to either ban or allow GC seals, which I think will probably be banned if I had to guess. Let's see here. What else do we have? We have menders. We have to figure out if mending is going to be allowed or not. And then I need to figure out whether or not I'm going to do... Well, I mean, MSQ will just kind of come naturally. For sure here. What else we got? I mean, just a little bit of MSQ, I guess. And if we decide to ban menders, then I've probably just got to look into leveling up my crafters and gatherers. I know I need to grab the rest of the... Grab... Disciple of Land and Hand, because I do not have all of those, so that is something else I will need to do. Ah, yes. Hello there. Yes, the name is here. Something I actually... Okay. I regret not showing this in the original video. I guess I probably should have waited until this stream to do this. I made a plate for the name, but I didn't show it off, so I might reset this and we can figure something out, but we'll see, we'll see. Adventure plate. I'm writing down our schedule for today so that I don't get lost. Alright. Let's see here. So, our first topic for today is we've got to figure out a Grand Company. Because I actually don't know what I'm doing with the Grand Companies. I don't know if I'm going to allow seals. I don't know if I'm going to allow squadrons, or I'm guessing Grand Company hunting log I'll probably allow. Where's Tataru? Oh, she's over there. Alright. So we've got to figure that out. I'm actually fairly unprepared for this. And then afterwards, I've written down a few restriction suggestions from the YouTube video, and I also want to see if we can figure out that as well. Hey! Hello there, Celeste. I've written down banning menders. That was something that... So I actually have not repaired my gear at all throughout this entire run. So I technically could ban that, and I wouldn't even be breaking my own rules currently. So that is something that I'm currently trying to see if I want to do or not. But we'll deal with the grand companies, I think, first, because we've got to go around all of the city-states first and foremost. And while I do that, I need to grab the rest of the Disciple of Hand and Land, because I haven't done that. And if I'm going to be mending my own gear, potentially, then I need that. I need that bad. Okay, crazy suggestion, would you need to level crafters alongside the jobs? I mean, yeah, I would have to keep the crafters in level with the gear that I'm wearing. Because I think right now, again, I'm no crafter, I think right now it is, you need to have a crafter of that focuses on the piece of gear that you're trying to repair. I think 10 levels below what you're currently wearing. I might be wrong on that, but again, I'm pretty unprepared for today, so we're just gonna be kind of improvising this. Oh, I could grab Halatali today as well. Ooh, I've been tempted to do side quest dungeons as well. I think that would be funny. I'll go ahead and grab it just in case for right now, and we'll see what happens. What do I get? Goat skin, arm guards. There's also the suggestion that I'm not allowed to use anything from quests from this point onwards. We'll figure that out. I might make a poll or something, or we'll just figure it out from there. I'll go ahead and grab this regardless. Nedrick Ironheart. This guy is really strange. He gives you all of the crazy side quests. He's the start of the Zodiac Relic, if I remember right, and he gives you some side quest dungeons. Alright, this is our way to Limsa. I don't want to pay teleport fees. I like keeping my gil. I don't think I've seen this boat cutscene in like 10 years. I actually never use the boat on a regular character. I don't think a lot of people do. So this is something new for me. So our first stop will be Limsa. I grabbed Culinarian, I grabbed Fisher, so we're missing Armorer and Blacksmith here, I think. But how would you get gear if not from quests? Crafter only? Yeah, probably. I would probably have to craft them. And that wouldn't be like I wouldn't be locked out of gear, because I can use gatherers to then make the materials to then craft the gear. Because I thought I was originally locked out of fishing, but then I looked up and I was like, oh, Goldsmith can make bait. So it's like, okay, I can use bait there. Asked about menders back in the video. It was a question. It should be considered really carefully. Yeah, so thankfully I've saved like the accessories that I've been given, just in case I decided to do that. Because I was actually heavily considering banning menders. I hadn't officially done it, because I didn't know if I wanted to do it. But I made sure not to repair any of my gear just in case I did it. And I need to, I mean, you're right. I need to be very careful if I decide to make that an actual thing. Oh, we also got retainers. I need to know if retainers are allowed. I know I've already banned a market board, so I'm not allowed to buy and sell stuff on the market board for Gil, which Gil wouldn't come in handy anyway. Leveling the type of hand in this context would become a nightmare. Yeah, we would probably just be sitting and leveling, working on the low-level rocks for the most part. Okay, I need to go to the Armorers Guild. That should be our first stop thing. Grab all of the Disciple of Hand and Land. I mean, so I don't know if it's, I don't know the logistics, but the game does not actually wear your gear down for like the entirety of the tutorial. So I have a lot of weapons and armor that I could swap around. So like that wouldn't be a big issue. It'd be the accessories, because a lot of accessories aren't high enough level. The armor is over here. So I would need to be very careful about that. You're right. I would need to play super smart and probably remove a lot of my accessories right now on my Pugilist, and use it for gathering, so that all of that durability goes to those instead. I had the Aft Castle Aethernet. Why did I not use that? Okay, I don't know if there's actually anything useful I can do with armor and blacksmith immediately. We'll find out. Where do I go? Over here. Okay, we want both of you. I guess they had some budget cuts, so they couldn't give the armor and blacksmith their own separate buildings. Okay, so armor is for... Actually, I don't think armor is going to come in handy at all for striking gear. That might be... What, Weaver? Weaver might be that, or a leather worker. Which will be our next stop. I'll probably head to Gridania after this. Because the airship here in Limsa takes us to Gridania. Leather worker for sure? Yeah, okay. See, my crafters on my main character, despite playing since Realm Reborn, I think all of them are level 21. I don't craft. I don't craft. I have friends for that. So past level 21 when it comes to crafters, I am completely in the dark. So this will be really interesting. I'll remember because of the archaic lamp. Yeah. God, I'm so glad they removed the oh, you need a glamour prism for this type of gear or this level range. I'm so glad they removed that. I mean, I know why they had it in the first place is because you only had level 1 through 50, but still, it was very, very annoying. The glamour system in general in this game is pretty antiquated, which is unfortunate. And I don't think that is an easy fix. I don't think that's an easy fix. Trying to improve the glamour system. Okay, so this is blacksmith, I think. Okay. We get a nice old hammer. Again, I don't think there's anything I can really do with blacksmith immediately, but it's good to have it. I didn't grab it initially because I didn't think I was going to be doing the mending thing. But if I decide to do that, then I'll need these ASAP. I mean, obviously, I could put the mending rule in later, because that was something I was considering, is doing kind of like a progressive difficulty system. Adding rules slowly throughout the run instead of just kind of, you know, jamming them all in immediately. But I don't want to just add a bunch of easy rules that don't matter at all early on, and so that the run is just kind of boring. I want to make sure there's at least something major. Let's see here. I need to update that. Okay, so we have this. So let's make a gear set for each of these. That's armor, and then blacksmith. Perfect. Okay, yeah. Is there anything that I can do with armor right now? I need ore, ingots. Okay, where do I get ore, copper ore from gathering? In Hammerlea. And over by... This would be... Okay, this is really close. This is over by the Fate, right by here. Okay. That's not too bad. What about blacksmith? What can I do with blacksmith right now? I think they require similar materials. Again, I don't think there's really much I can do with blacksmith. I can make saws for a carpenter, and I can make equipment for other crafters. Okay. So I'll keep that in mind. I think for right now, then, I will head over to Merlwyb and complete the main scenario here. And so we can just move on to Gridania. I don't want to just jump around cities and have to come back here. I want to save my gil for I guess just for hoarding. If I'm not going to be using it anywhere, then there's not really much for me to use. Hi. Hello there, Tucker. Will you be making videos and classes for Bravely Second too? Yes, I do plan on making job videos for Bravely Default 2 and Second. I was currently in the process of revamping how I wanted to present the information for those types of videos, because I wasn't really satisfied with how I did the last few Bravely Default job videos. So I've been looking into how I wanted to present that stuff. But I figured it out, and so I'm slowly working towards those. And I've been working on one of the games a little bit more than the other, and it's it's been an ordeal because I don't know Bravely Second and Default 2 nearly as well as I know the first game. At least not as well as I thought I did. So there wasn't anything wrong with the default videos on, like, the final product. It was more of just me as the creator of the videos. I noticed things that, after a while of doing 24 of those, I just got annoyed. So I guess for an example is, so the way that I would do how I would gather information and B-roll for the videos, so the gameplay you see on those videos, it was a very, very boring process because I didn't have a lot of resources to work with. So, like, I was fighting the same enemies over and over again. I couldn't really do anything super creative without spoiling the game for people who were just kind of looking for a guide. And so I was kind of restricted in that way. Obviously, that is a personal thing when making the videos. I could have used whatever footage I wanted, and I don't think anyone would have had an issue with it. But it was a personal thing, and I just wanted to see if I could figure out a way to improve that, along with a few other things that didn't affect the final product in any real way, but it was annoying for me personally. So I spent some time trying to figure that out. Also, hi Tricky, how's it? It's going all right. I slept in today, so I woke up without a battle plan for this stream. So I'm kind of running around like a chicken with my head cut off right now. It's cool, I really like your channel. I wish you could play 14. Also, my stuff in the Brazilian. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. My condolences. Well, hopefully with these videos you can kind of get an experience. This next year is going to be Paper Mario. So, yeah, I do plan to make videos over 1,000 Year Door. I haven't decided whether or not I want to make it like an episodic series, or if I just want to make it kind of like a bundle, like a kind of a mini-series where I cover multiple chapters in each video. I've been kind of dancing around that idea. I have plans if I decide to do either or, but I have time to figure that out. I might make a community post about it to see what people are interested in. I can do both because I could probably record and edit that entire series before Dawn Trail comes out. I don't think that would be difficult. And I'm obsessed with 1,000 Year Door, so I would have no issue keeping myself entertained. I forgot, I'm about halfway into this cutscene, and I forgot to raise the voices. Usually I play with low voices, but I forgot to do that. Whoops. Play 1,000 Year Door, but never play the FF stuff. Yeah, 1,000 Year Door is pretty good. In terms of Final Fantasy, if you're ever interested in playing Final Fantasy, I have a series over FF6. I think that's a pretty good entry into the series. If you're interested in playing a free Final Fantasy, I mean, you mentioned that you can't really play 14 because you lost all your stuff in the Brazilian catastrophe. I would suggest either playing the Pixel remasters, or I think well, Steam is currently having a sale on Final Fantasy games, but I don't know if you can do that. Best way to appreciate the AR voice acting is by lowering it. Tactics, ooh, yes, Tactics is good. Tactics Advance and 7 Remake. Yeah, I actually really like the 7 Remake duology so far. I am personally not a big fan of FF7, the original, but the remake I really, really like. Yeah, should I just keep the voices lowered? I mean, okay, to be fair, some of the ARR English voice acting is alright. I don't think any of it is good, but I think it's alright. I hate YouTube stream chat on mobile so much. What's the problem? Is it just not... I think, doesn't it just, like, cover half of the screen? Keep the voices up? Yeah, we can make fun of it. I had... So, the version of the 14 video that you guys got was like the third or fourth iteration of that video that I had made. And... yeah, skill issue, right? And, I originally had a version that had me shut up, and I had the cutscenes kind of talk about what is going on in the narrative, so that if people wanted to follow the story, they could, and I would just let the game do all the work. But as I was editing that, I just got very tired of listening to the voices over and over again, so I was just like, screw it, you know what, I'll make my own abridged version. And that's the version that we got. Now, I left Mad Snake in there because I thought that was funny. But that was, I think, really the only major thing I left in when it came to voice acting. Let's see, is there anything else for me to do? Can't listen to ARR Alfie? Yeah. The Heaven's Ward voice in Onward is really, really good. Alphino doesn't get a lot of credit. I like that guy. He should have been in Dissidia, not Y'shtola. And people can fight me on that. Hello there, Vera. How you doing? Have you played any other Mario RPG series? Yes, I have played... So, I played the original Super Mario RPG. I tried out the remake. I actually streamed it a little bit. I haven't gotten much further after that because I got busy working on Final Fantasy VI. But I've played all of the Paper Marios. The only one I have not beaten is Color Splash, because I got that game and was just not having fun with Color Splash. I got through Sticker Star because I had a bunch of friends who were also playing alongside it, and we had fun making fun of it. But I've played every Paper Mario, beaten all of them except for Color Splash, and I've played the Mario and Luigi series, and I've beaten all of them except for Partners in Time, because I borrowed that game from a friend, and they just wanted it back before I could finish it. Yeah, Sticker Star is not very good. I will say that. It's not very good. Played the first three? Yeah, well, those are probably the best of the three. I mean, I really like Origami King of the Mario and Luigi series. See, my favorite from that series is actually Dream Team, which is the fourth game in the series. But I like all of the... An unpopular opinion, I like all of the Mario and Luigi games. There isn't a single game in that series that I don't like. I think they're all, like, pretty alright. Bowser's Inside Story is really good. The remake that they made for the 3DS isn't very impressive, I will say that, though. There were a few things that I wasn't a big fan of when it came to changes that they made. It's unfortunate that Alpha Dream went bankrupt, though. I think back in 2019, it's been like half a decade, wow. Hopefully we get another Mario and Luigi game, but I have no idea if we will. Come on, Nintendo. Make my dreams a reality. I still wish that Bowser's Inside Story game was out on the Switch. I don't know how they would do it because it's dual screen, but that's also kind of an idea. It's kind of a reason why I'm a little skeptical of a Bravely port on Switch or any kind of current console. Is that I just don't know how they would handle some of the 3DS gimmicks. Do I ever plan to make a video making fun of Sticker Star? I don't hate the game that much. I don't hate the game that much to make a video over it. If I ever make a video over Sticker Star, it might be something like kind of going like over a retrospective of the series. I don't know if you know Chuck Conroy, but he's notorious for hating Sticker Star. Oh, don't worry. I followed that whole debacle. Oh, I followed his entire series over Sticker Star. That was quite something, I'll say that. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else for me to do here in Limsa. Alright, hang on. First things first. We need to raise the voices. So we can make fun of them. I don't think there's anything for me to do here. I have the culinarian stuff. I'm not getting Marauder. I'm staying Pugilist for as long as I can. Which, I guess to explain why I decided to go Pugilist, I just thought it would be funny. There was no strategy behind the choice to go Pugilist. I was just like, it'll be funny if I just punch things. So, I might have screwed myself over with that. I probably should have gone a healer or a tank. But I said, screw it. Why not? We'll go Pugilist. It'll be funny. Okay. So we need to go to Gridania. So I guess making a video means you either love it or hate it. Yeah, so that's kind of my mentality. So it's similar to whenever I 100% games. Large man equal punch, yes. I will always 100% games if I really, really like them or really, really hate them. So I can say, oh my god, this game is so good, or oh my god, this game is absolute trash. And I can back it up by saying that I've, dedicated, this amount of time to it. It's a petty thing, but it's something that I do. Sticker Star, my experience with that game is relegated to a small window of my life. I never replayed it after I played it with my friends. And so I would need to go back and see how bad it is now. 100% all the Paper Mario games every time I do a new run. See, I don't think I've 100%ed any Paper Mario game except for Super Paper Mario. Even as much as I love Thousand Year Door, I don't think I ever 100%ed that just because I was a dumb kid who didn't know side quests existed. Okay, so I also have Palace of the Dead here I can get. Hello, I can get Palace. I'll hold off on that for right now. But I'll write that down just in case I want to do it later. We'll see if Palace ends up being something I do. Someone sold their copy for $20? Ooh. I'd take that deal. Oh, Carpenter. We need to go get Carpenter. I could play something that's probably as good as Thousand Year Door. Thousand Year Door is really good. I hope that the remake does well. I hope the remake does well. Yeah, Stickers. I went into Sticker Star thinking that it was going to be similar to Super Paper Mario, since that was the first one I played, was Super Paper Mario. And I was surprised to see that it was a turn-based game, and that it was a really bad turn-based game. Don't forget leather for your shoes. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to forget. Okay, so this is the Carpenters Guild. Yes, I want into your group. Let me into your secret club, please. Thank you very much. I have to go talk to the guild master. He's got a nice haircut. I was tempted to make the name Bald. I decided against it. I might make him Bald later. I enjoy Super Paper Mario sometimes. I really like the narrative of that game. The gameplay, not so much. But I enjoy the narrative of that game. A very young me was able to understand it after like 6 years. I thought the story of Super Paper Mario was something completely different than what it actually was. It's got a cute art style, yes. All the Paper Mario games have an amazing art style. That's one thing that I think Origami King does very, very well. It has this paper mache aesthetic that was pulled off very, very well. Replay value is high for me because of the badge and partner system. Yeah, the badge and partner system really help out. It keeps the game fresh. As long as you aren't trying to just completely break the game, which is very easy to do in those games. Because it takes like 3 badge points to break Thousand Year Door, but it's not fun if you're just one-shotting everything, in my opinion. Which is something I had to hold myself back from when it came to making the Bravely series. I was like, I can rip and tear through these bosses without much issue. I know how to do it, but I don't want to do it so that it's not boring. Because it would get really boring if I was using the same composition for every single fight, doing the exact same strategy. It would have gotten very boring. And since I was deciding I wanted to do videos over all of the loop fights, for every single chapter. I was like, I can't make one build and just go through this whole game with one build. I have to do something different. And that was actually a big ordeal. Back when I played Paper Mario, I wasn't too bad at the game. I wasn't that good at the game. Yeah, no, I was pretty bad at it too. I remember Thousand Year Door, I messed up action commands like it was like it was a profession. It was really bad. And it's simple stuff. It's like, hold the left stick for 2 seconds and then release it, or push A at this time. I was just really bad at that. I beat Bowser, I was spamming the 6 FP hammer tech. Yeah, I think I was just spamming Quake Hammer, which is like 8 or 10 FP, and it does really low damage, but I thought it was cool because it had a Quake in the name. And it had a high cost, so it must have been powerful. I think that was my logic. Okay, so is there any other... I need Goldsmith and I need Alchemist, but that's old I don't think there's anything else I need to grab here in Gridania. Other than Aethernets. I should probably grab some Aethernets. I want to see if I can make anything immediately with these 2 jobs. I think as a kid, the visual of the Super Quake was impressive. I was let down by seeing only 6 damage. Yeah, I didn't care. I was like, oh man, 6 damage? That must be crazy, because I didn't use anything else. I wasn't trying power bounce or anything like that. I was just like, oh, this seems like it's working. And then we need to make something for this. Okay, what can I do with this stuff? Maple log. I can make maple lumber right now, and then I can use that to make clogs, which will give me better control. But I can't make anything super good just yet. Okay, I'll need to grab some items. What are my top 5 RPG games? That is difficult. Are you asking just about, like, turn-based RPG, or just RPGs in general? Because that would be a very different list. What can I do with the Leatherworker? Like in Pokemon, I thought as a kid, Moltres, Dragonite, and Articuno sucked, because they all faint in one hit. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, 2 of the Pokemon you just mentioned, outside of, like, specific competitive categories, are actually pretty bad from my memory. I play Pokemon Stadium with friends and I avoid using those Pokemons. I actually barely played Stadium at all. I didn't have reliable access to it other than like emulation. So that is something I have missed out on. Oh, I already have this one. Okay. As a kid, everyone is gushing that they are legendary Pokemon. Yeah. Well, I mean, their stats are high. They're just high in the wrong places. Like, Articuno is a toothpick. Now, I've seen some crazy stuff with Articuno in some of the competitive categories nowadays with, like, Terrestrialization and Scarlet and Violet, but even then, like, that bird is difficult to build around. Dragonite's still pretty solid if I remember right. Oh, I don't want to do that just yet. I'm going to grab Aethernets. I've got the Botanist Guild. I don't need the Lancers Guild. Is there a way that I can go... Oh, airship stuff. Alright, well then I guess this is what we do. My kid look at them in practice and see easily exploitable weakness. Yeah. Blizzard is 90% accuracy in Stadium. Yeah, that's kind of how you make Articuno good, is you just kind of hope and pray that Blizzard works. I lost my son to the calamity. Alright, point and laugh at all of these poor voice actors.
You couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body.
Okay. Articuno is probably one of the saddest type combination for Legendary. Yeah, what, Ice Flying, I think? Right? So that would be double weakness to rock, weakness to fire, weakness to electric. You have a lot of weaknesses if you're Ice Lightning, but Ice Flying. Yes, we're talking shit about Articuno, because it deserves it. Now, again, Terrestrialization makes Articuno pretty good because you can completely change its defenses. Like, you can turn Articuno into, like, a ghost type, if you want. But outside of Terrestrialization, I don't think that bird's very good.
And soon, they were joined by folk of all races.
Actually, I think the only good one of those three birds is Zapdos, right? Okay, yeah, Articuno looks cool, but all three of the birds look cool. So, I read that Gen 1 through 3 legendaries have glitched out IVs that make them not good. I think that's correct. I know Kyogre is still, like, king of legendaries. Maybe as a kid I got humbled if I lose that value. Yeah, well, you know, that happens. I know Kyogre is still getting a lot of attention.
In accordance with the will of the elementals,
Dragonite versus their Squirtle and I lose to Blizzard. Yeah.
Alas,
That happens. Dragon types fold pretty quickly to ice damage. Kyogre is king, yeah. Well, Kyogre, I think, just had... Well, Kyogre is a water type, so it's already good. It's already good if it's water. Water's just a busted type. And then Kyogre just has a lot of very powerful moves. And then if you're doing, like, doubles, you can have a support Pokemon that gives it rain and all that nonsense. It might be the roaming ones like Suicune and Entei. I think you're on the right track, Brent. But I don't know I don't know the first 4 generations of Pokemon very well. About Paper Mario, who's your favorite partners from the first 2 games? The first game, Bo and Watt, for sure. Those were the 2 I used constantly. Second game, Bobbery and Vivian. Those are probably my 2 favorite from 1000 Year Door. Ice is my favorite type. Yes, I am an ice type. I would hope so, thanks to your profile picture there, Spariel. But ice type is also my personal favorite. One is good versus your defense. Yep. Again, anything with defense. Yep. I always tried to use Bo in every situation I could, because I upgraded her slap attack and it was doing crazy damage. But I used Watt for bosses, because they usually had defense. And Watt could also give Mario that, like, static buff or whatever it was. I forget. It's been like a decade since I played the original. And then 1000 Year Door, it was basically Vivian for bosses, Bobbery for groups of enemies. I mean, obviously, I used the Goombas to tattle on the enemies, and that was about it. Favorites Yoshi? Oh man, I'm curious if they kept the method on how you choose your color for the Yoshi the same. Because I think it's based on a timer, an in-game timer, on what color you get. Just power lift on Yoshi and then keep using quick charge. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It is of little wonder
Let's
that
see
our
here.
unity now falters.
This power lift attack boost lasts forever. Yes, it does.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
The name looks very out of place here.
On this day, 5 years ago,
I love the deadpan look they've given the main character in the first, like, 3 expansions of 14. It allows for these cutscenes to look very funny. And I will be taking advantage of that whenever I do my editing.
And how do you propose to honor the memory?
Oh god, Alice's older voice. That is something I completely forgot about. She sounds so young.
the
I guess she is young, so that makes
by
sense.
The calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored
see
to
here.
rebuild our homes, to rebuild
So when we get to
our
Ul'dah,
lives,
we'll grab
the Empire has set
Alchemist,
about raising steel
Goldsmith.
fortresses here in the
We can see what we can
Twelveswood.
do with those. And then
Let none be
move on from there.
mistaken. The
I know
Guardians
that there was a
greatest
question
threats
earlier
to
about my
our
5
survival.
top
If we
RPGs.
are
If we're
to
just
stand
talking
against them,
turn-based,
we must remember what it is
Uh,
to be united. Our many
Bravely
troubles
Second is up
bind
there.
us
I
to
think
the
Bravely
woes
Second
of our
has
fellow man.
my favorite turn-based combat
Hence
system
is harmony
in
lost.
general.
Yet
While Bravely
harmony
Second
is
has
the
its fair
founding
share of
principle
problems,
of Gridania.
I think
are
the
gathered
the
here
gameplay
to
of that
honor
game
the
carries
fallen.
it really, really hard. So I'd say that's probably up there.
Let them be honored,
Let's
not
see here.
only in word and
I
thought,
really like
through concerted
Final
action.
Fantasy X's combat system, and 10 in general I think is one of the best narratives in the Final Fantasy
I bid
franchise.
you, join hands with me once
I've only played
more
Bravely Default as a
beneath
sequel, a
the
big
twin
upgrade.
adders
So
standard.
Bravely Second is the direct sequel to Bravely Default, and it improves upon the
And
combat
together,
system and basically
let us
perfects
heal
it.
the forest's wounds, that our
And in terms of
progeny might
narrative,
live in harmony
it's actually
beneath
pretty
these
different.
ancient boughs.
It still kind of
serenity,
follows the formula of a
purity,
standard narrative for like the first half of the
sanctity.
game, and then has a big twist later on,
We
and
must think of the children.
you know, it gets
What
pretty
will be
meta,
done?
It's up to
similar to
us
Bravely
protect
Default.
the forest.
I would say, generally speaking, it is an upgrade in almost every way to the original game. And then Bravely Default 2 is a separate universe that takes the combat in a different direction and has new characters and new locations. And I think, generally speaking, that game is also an upgrade to the original, which I think is actually a pretty controversial opinion in the community. I think Bravely Default 2 is very, very divisive. But I think I sit in the camp of it's a pretty good game, and that as much as I love the first Bravely
Fancy
Default, I
meeting you
think
again.
Bravely Second and Default 2 are just better games. which surprised me whenever I played each of them the first time. Oh, my gear's clipping right there. Oh. I have played Golden Sun, but I never beat it. I played the first Golden Sun, but I never beat it. So I forget how far I got in it. If I looked at like a walkthrough or something and looked at like the story beats, I could probably tell you, but I don't know off the top of my head. It was a while ago. Let's see here. What other turn-based RPGs do I really like? Well, I like Thousand Year Door. I would say that's probably also up there in the top 5. Thoughts on Golden Sun? For what I played, I liked it. I can't comment on it too much because I don't think I played enough of Golden Sun to really make an opinion. I think I played that back in like 2017, 2018, so it's been a while. I played it right before Smash Ultimate came out because I remember being very excited to see Isaac as an assist trophy. I remember being very excited because I was like, "Oh, hey, I recognize that character." But it was pretty soon before Smash Ultimate came out. Yeah, all he does is move and he uses big hand. All right, we can go to the plaza. Other way around. You Smash Ultimate came out and you played Golden Sun. That seems to be how a lot of people get introduced to franchises through Super Smash Brothers. That seems to happen quite a bit. I have a lot of friends who had no clue who the hell Marth was or Shulk until they were added into Smash Brothers. Where am I going? Oh yeah, airship link. Here we are. Good old There we go. All right, I can skip this, I think. Got into Fire Emblem that way. You and a lot of people. I am in the camp that I didn't know who Marth was, or Fire Emblem in general, until I played Smash Brothers. I need to go. So my objective is in the strip, but I need to go to Ruby Road, I think. Actually, no. All of the classes that are in Steps of Fall. The first Fire Emblem character that I got to be like, wow, they're in this game, I've played their game, was Corrin, and for Fire Emblem Fates. And as much as I think that game is actually pretty alright, I wouldn't recommend it. I played Fates, yeah. I played Conquest. I played Fire Emblem Conquest. I did not play Birthright. I got Conquest. Yeah, it's I I had to lower the difficulty about halfway through. I never played Revelation. I decided just to watch a video of Revelations. Yeah, no, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy, playing Conquest blind. But I was really happy to see Corrin in Smash. It's been a difficult journey as a Fire Emblem fan, having to be like, no, don't worry, these guys are cool. They're cool. Look at the movesets, they're cool. Them in Smash is cool. Come on, guys, give them a chance. Awakening 7, 8, 11 on the hardest difficulty. I went back and played Awakening. Definitely not on the hardest difficulty. I think I just played it on hard instead of maddening. Consider yourself a veteran, so I tried Conquest hard blind. No, thank you. I started the game on normal and I got my ass beat about halfway through, and I was like, screw it, going easy. Found on Conquest hard, enemies use stats of the hardest difficulty, just list enemies. You know what? That's a clever way of doing it. It makes the harder difficulty more overwhelming, but you kind of know what you're in for. As a Stranger was, in retrospective, Byleth worth a season pass slot for Fire Emblem fans. In terms of like marketing and like business decisions, I think Byleth was a very smart choice. Three Houses was the big Fire Emblem game on the Switch. That game was going to do well regardless of if it was good or not, which it is pretty good. So marketing Byleth they probably put Byleth in Ultimate purely for marketing purposes. And I think in terms of gameplay, Byleth is a pretty interesting character. Yo, he's got the jig going. Let's go. I think we're gonna be best buddies, Rose here. Sorry, Squirrel. I think Byleth was worth a slot because just because of their up B. I think their up B is a character in itself because there's so many things you can do off of it. And I think Byleth was cool. I was excited to see Robin and Lucina in Smash 4. See, thankfully, like half of the Fire Emblem roster in Super Smash Bros. Is actually they're actually super unique. Like Robin, Corrin, Byleth, like they all play pretty different. It's just that there's so many clones, like Chrom, Roy, and Martha and Lucina just all play so similar. If they could, knock a few of those off, then maybe people wouldn't be as mad. I need to go to the Goldsmith Guild. Do I have that? I do. Oh, yeah. See, like, Corrin has the whole dragon thing going, and I thought that was really neat, and the pin mechanic, and then Byleth has the multiple weapons and the whip sword stuff, and Robin has magic. They got rid of Roy for Smash 4. They got rid of Roy, and then they added him back in as paid DLC, along with Ryu. They added those two characters together. Same thing with Lucas and Mewtwo. They got rid of them for Smash 4 and then re-entered them in as paid DLC. Which I wouldn't be surprised that if we get another Smash Brothers, they might do that again. Where they remove certain characters and then just put them back in as DLC. Yeah, the Brawl had Ike instead. Which I think was fair. Ike, I think, was a more... Actually, I don't think he was more recent at the time. Maybe he was. I'm not. Once we get like past the Roy games, I'm not nearly as well versed until we hit Awakening. Ike was more recent at the time. Okay. Then that makes sense. Ike had 2 games, really. I knew he had one that he was the star of. I didn't know he had 2. GameCube and Wii. Okay, I knew the GameCube one, but I didn't know he had one on the Wii. Again, technically the first Fire Emblem game I played was Fates, which I don't recommend as anyone's first foray into that franchise. At all. At all. Though I don't think that game is nearly as bad. He was like half the main character. I remember Roy and Melee came out even before his own game. Yeah, I don't know if his game was out in Japan already, or if his game just wasn't out at all. The game was divided into 4 parts, and he only appears in part 3 and 4. Oh, so he's like the protagonist of the second half of the game. Okay. Okay, so then we've got Alchemist and Goldsmith, I think. 10 minutes left at work, and then I'm gonna go Super Lurk mode while I drive. Okay, well, I wish you luck on driving. Oh no, we got Weaver. We still need to go get... I forgot Weaver even existed, and that was the first one I went and grabbed. Okay, I need to go... Where's Alchemist? Oh, it's over in the Hudson Sprint. That's right. Alchemist Guild. There we go. Yeah, I like Three Houses. I actually have not played Engage yet. I heard Engage was actually surprisingly good. So, waiting for the next Smash game. I mean, aren't we all, right? I mean, I was a big Smash Brothers player in high school. Like, I would play it every day with friends. I've kind of laid off of it after I graduated, because I've just been doing... I upgraded into the big boy fighting games, so... Do I expect another Fire Emblem player? Yeah, I do. I mean, I expect they'll add a Fire Emblem character. I don't know if it'll be the Engage... I don't know if it'll be the Colgate hair from Engage. So I don't know their actual name. So I just call them Colgate hair. But I know that they have... They're basically like all of the protagonists in one because of the rings. Yeah, the toothpaste meme. So I wouldn't be surprised if they, like, make it to where they cut down some of the Fire Emblem roster and just put them all into that one character. Make that the big gimmick of that character. Let's see here. Ah, over there. Let's grab these guys. Aleer. Okay, well, I'll make sure to remember that. I never got around to doing to playing Engage. The preferred ring is Marth. Okay, then oh boy, we get another Marth clone. Let's go. Pokemon trainer, but all the guys are blue swordsmen. There, see, we need to compile all this information and send it to Nintendo. I think we've got an idea now. I think we figured it out. Merge 4 Fire Emblem characters, all blue-haired swordsmen, into a blue and red-haired swordsman. I think we figured it out. Okay. I need to make a gear set for this. I need to make a gear set for this. And I'm going to make a gear set for this. Anything I can do with these. Mako Grass. Moko Grass. I do not need to copy the item name. Where is this found? Crafting material. Okay. I cannot grab that then. What about you? Hemp and yarn. I'm guessing I grid this from... Oh, wait, no. Yeah, okay. Well then, what can I do with Alchemist immediately? I know I can make potions, which that was another thing I was tempted to ban, was items. But I don't know if I'll do that. Like, consumable items, at least. Muddy water, Quicksilver, animal glue. I can make that. I have a lot of animal skin. Well, thankfully I can go and hunt creatures down for a lot of these items, so that isn't too bad. And then goldsmith, copper ingot. I need copper ore for that. Where can I go get that? Emerlea, Spineless Basin. Okay, I can make my weapons from this guy from goldsmith. Speaking of Ike, have you ever seen Doug doing a special challenge while beating Smash Ultimate? I think I have. I've watched Doug occasionally, so I wouldn't be surprised if I've stumbled upon that video before. I don't know how long it's been since I've watched Doug. Okay, and then we can go to the Royal Promenade. He's not allowed to say any Smash character's name. Oh, I can see him... Oh, speaking of Ike, oh, he probably got screwed over with a like, if I had to guess. That would get me, if I said like, because then that would be Ike. Yeah, alright, yeah. I think... I can't think of any other character name that would be super difficult to avoid saying. He kept losing the challenge, he kept saying like, yeah. What other character would be difficult to say? Because I think avoiding saying Bowser would be pretty easy. Dedede would be also Roy too. Was he saying soy or something? I don't know I don't know how you would lose to Roy. Destroy royalty? Okay. See, I mean, I would be okay subjecting myself to some, like, torture like that, for, like, funny content, but I would also go insane after a little while. Ness? Okay, yeah, I mean, like, he could... I could see you messing up with Ness.
We have wrought sand into gold.
Can you say Mad Snake, Raubon? That's like your best line. No? Okay. Whatever. Very, very specific words. Yeah, I don't think it would be a lot of Ike. It would be a lot of Roy, who's able to avoid pitfalls though. See, right there, me saying that I would lose the challenge. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That'd be it. Like, you never said Waluigi. Oh yeah, because that has Luigi in the word. But he would admit he would screw up the pitfalls because of Pit. Waluigi isn't in Smash. Right, yeah. He probably... Did he have to, like, read all the text-to-speeches and everything? Because I remember... I know that he... So I think the last thing I watched of him was... he did an AI thing where he made... I think it was Pajama Sam? I think that was the last video I watched, and he was doing the AI stuff with that. I have no idea when that was. I think it was last year sometime.
That they might know happiness
But
in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests.
I text-to-speech and having to read all of that, and it reading your voice, that's, you know, it's like a pain. Hospital? Oh my goodness.
They are not.
Yeah, Pit would be difficult. And then... Do you know the trap? Well, yeah, Hospit. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that especially since he has like thousands of viewers, that would be, you know, they are going to talk to each other and figure things out, and they're going to just completely ruin his day because there are thousands of brains versus one. I'm sure he spent hours on that challenge. You know, this is quite the speech, Raubon, saying, yeah, you guys are going to die. And that's it. I think probably... Well, no. Because Waluigi would probably be the only way you would get the Luigi one there. Is that always what happens? Yeah. All these memorial things are just... It's unfortunate that these people died, but we're just gonna say that, you know, it's okay to die, guys. I got the feeling everyone does a big speech like this about war and battles. Well, you know, it's all about unity, you know. Might as well say you're all going to die. Yes, we're all going to die someday. And that's kind of the idea here, I guess. Might as well make the most of it. It's really funny to see how little Nanamo does until, like, Stormblood. It's basically Raubon running this country. And then he goes to Alamigo. Might as well say you're all going to die. Yep. So, I think after this, we have to choose our Grand Company. We go back to the Waking Sands and figure that out. Which, I'll probably just have... I'll either spin a wheel or something. Because I don't think it'll matter what Grand Company I grab. On 14, you just send one guy in the enemy strongholds to take it down. Yeah, it's called plot armor, my friend. We've got plot armor.
Much has been made of the wealth of Uldar.
God, the Nanamo voice, Free Heavensward, is also really jarring. I wonder if they'll ever go back and update these voices. I doubt it. They probably have more stuff to work on. I'm sure Dawn Trail will have even more voice acting cutscenes than Endwalker, and 8.0 will have even more than Dawn Trail. God, I'm so excited for Dawn Trail. I wasn't not getting too much into it. I wasn't a big fan of Endwalker, so I'm excited for Dawn Trail. Ever played card games? Yeah, I've played card games. I mean, like standard like casino card games. Yeah, I've played card games like let's see here. I've played like some hidden identity card games, like Secret Hitler, which is pretty fun. I played Exploding Kittens a few years back. That was funny. I've played a few card games. I don't think I would be considered like a connoisseur, but I've dabbled. I usually play more like, you know, Texas Hold'em or poker without the gambling aspect. Let's see here. I've played like 2s and 10s. If that's a common card game, I don't know if people know what like 2s and 10s or bullshit is or anything. Those all have different names across the country and whatnot. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I don't know if I would consider those classics. I have no clue. I am not the right person to ask that question because I don't know what is popular and what isn't. Those are just what I would have a family member or friend or friends would sit down and be like, you know, hey, let's play this card game, and I'd be like, oh sure. I don't know what it is. You'll teach me the rules, and then we just kind of go with that. Look forward to Dawn Trail since I heard promising words on the content and gameplay approach. Yeah, it seems to be more multiplayer focused compared to Endwalker's single-player content, which is something that I'm looking forward to. Especially if I'm going to be making content over Dawn Trail, I would like there to be more of a multiplayer aspect, because then I could get people, you know, I can get viewers and friends, and we can play content together, because Endwalker, I couldn't really do that. Endwalker in general missed the mark on a lot of things. I don't think it was a bad expansion, but I do think it was underwhelming, which is fine. Not every expansion is going to be a banger, so they're going to mess up occasionally. Okay, so now I'll go back to the Waking Sands, which thankfully I do have items that allow me to teleport. I was also thinking about banning teleporting. That's on my list. But I don't think I'll decide on that just yet. If I do that, I might ban that for, like, at a later time. Actually, I can tell that Fire Emblem Engage is a lot easier for a lot of reasons compared to Conquest. Ah, really? I'm sure there's a lot of quality of life that was added into Engage since Fates, so I'm sure that probably has a big thing. Ever interested to go back and play Fire Emblem? Try easier ones. I mean, I played Awakening after playing Three Houses, because I did Fates, Three Houses, then Awakening. Yeah, Three Houses is pretty easy. Especially with the DLC characters. Yuri kind of carries. I'll be honest, Trickster Yuri kind of carries that game. Shadowbringer said something that improved upon Stormblood to compensate the losses, and Walker just got worse. I agree. I still think Stormblood in general was like the best period of time for the game in terms of content quality, but Shadowbringer's had its moments, both ups and downs. Endwalker, I thought the expansion started off strong, but just kind of petered off with each patch. Okay, so we're back here with Minfilia. Did I play Birthright? I've never played Birthright. The only Fates game I played was Conquest. That was the only one I played. I never got to play Birthright.
The gods only know
my
what grand company
my friend had Conquest, and he gave it to me because he had Birthright. He had both games, and he played Birthright. I played Conquest.
Regardless.
Right now, starting with Birthright instead of Conquest. I don't know. He just gave me. I got Conquest for free. He just handed it to me and he was like, "Hey, I got this." He was like, he was a Fire Emblem fan. He played Awakening, and he got both games because there was like a bundle deal or something at GameStop, and so he's able to get both of them for like full price for the price of one game. And so he's like, I don't want to play this game 2 times. It's the same game. So he handed me Conquest. Birthright might be one of the easiest game. Oh, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that there was actually a difficulty change. Originally, I thought, because I saw some marketing for Fates beforehand, but I thought it was the idea that you would the game decided, like, if you played Conquest, you were on Nor's team regardless, no matter what. And Birthright, we were always on Hoshido's team. So I thought that was how it worked. So I ended up also choosing Nor's side as well in Conquest, because I didn't know I had an option to. Even when that schism happened, I was just like, oh, I gotta pick Nor because I'm on Conquest, right? So yeah, I just thought Fire Emblem Fates was hard. I just thought it was hard.
Beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So,
yeah, I had to switch it over to easy mode about halfway through.
To the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies.
I don't remember if my friend had any difficulties with Birthright. We talked about the game a little bit, but we didn't really discuss Fates at all until Corrin was in Smash Brothers.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history.
God, her old voice is very different. This is really weird. Where did these bodyguards go, I wonder? They're just kind of benched, I guess.
There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I need to find it.
Yeah, see you in 4 expansions, Alice.
Most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but
see you in 4 expansions whenever you actually do find the
I
solution.
dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
I guess also, I mean, maybe I'll see her in Coils if I decide to do that. We'll see.
Hope does not come.
We'll see if I decide to do Coils, if I live that long. That's the biggest thing. I've got to see if this playthrough even lasts that long. If I get screwed over and die in Halatali, well, you know, that's the end of it, right? That would be the end of it. I mean, obviously, if I die this early, I'll probably just either reset the name and try again and just edit out everything that I already did, or I'll make a new character, just keep going. I'll probably keep the name around, though. Okay, now we're here. We've got to figure out a Grand Company. So, the Grand Company, in general, I don't think there's anything different between the resources they give you if I decide to make the GC seals viable. You technically die at T13 too, or is that just UCOB? I think that's just UCOB. Because then the Phoenix revives you at the end of that fight. I think because you survive Terra Flare just by standing in the Neuralinks, I think. No. Yeah, because the ad drops a Neuralink in T13, so I think you could just live it that way. Because the Neuralinks are gone in UCOB whenever you get Terra Flared. So I think it's just that one. Ever played shooter games? Occasionally, I would say probably the biggest shooter game I played, like, for any number of time was TF2. Yeah, I would say. I played Overwatch a little bit. I played Overwatch 1 back in, like, 2017, 2018. But I was going to play Overwatch 2 until they removed Bastion, which was the character I played, for like a full month early into the game's lifespan, and I just lost interest immediately. And then the game just got worse. The game just apparently just got worse and worse and worse. So, I didn't play Overwatch. I think that's pretty much it though when it comes to shooters. See her in Ishgard, she interrupts her dinner date with Baymeric? Baymeric. Okay, sure. Whatever you say. Alright, let's see here. Where should the name go? I'm assuming maybe the Immortal Flames. I mean, that seems accurate. And because Old Da is kind of like the hub of A Realm Reborn, I think it would make sense for us to go to the Flames. But it would also be very in character and very funny if we just pivot immediately to either the Serpents or the Storm or the Maelstrom. I think that would also be really funny. See, I'm originally a Maelstrom guy. Like, my main and all of my single other alt are both Maelstrom. So you know, usually I go with Maelstrom. I've never gone with adders before. Like, in my, you know, since I've started playing, I've never gone with adders. And so we've got, I've never done this before. This seems accurate for the name. And this would also make sense because the name is just kind of, you know, his own person. He does whatever the hell he wants. This is a difficult decision that will probably amount to nothing. Favorite class in Bravely Default? Probably Vampire. Probably Vampire. At least when it comes to the first game. You know what? Hang on. I've got a solution. I have a solution for us. I think we can just do this. Flames, adders. No. Adders. Alright. Let's see here. Dark Knight is pretty cool. Alright. Alright, I've got a wheel here. I think it's best if we just spin it. Is this not showing up? No, I think it is. Google screen. So we're just gonna spin it, and I think we'll just go with whatever we land on. So let's figure this out. Looks like we're going with Maelstrom. So yeah, all right, cool. We're going with Maelstrom. Now again, I have no clue if we're even going to allow GC seals. I think we'll figure that out once we get over to the Maelstrom and we can see what we can get. We'll see what we can... If there's anything valuable there, I think we probably will just ban it. I think we'll just ban it. If there's something that makes my experience a little bit easier, I think we'll just keep it in. But if there's something in with that we can get with GC seals that is like major, then I think we'll just ban it because it's funnier that way. Because like squadrons, the only thing I think squadrons would give us is an EXP boost, and that's if I dedicate like 2 months to them. So that I don't know if I'll ban at all. So we'll see. See, like, I would say Vampire is probably my favorite Bravely Default job, but there's a lot of jobs in that game that I really like. There's Dark Matter if I go down the dark path. See, I think that would actually be a fairly decent compromise. If I ban Menders, but I allow GC seals, that would allow me to stock up on Dark Matter. Because I don't... What is the other way for me to get Dark Matter if I don't use GC seals? Can I get it with allied seals? Like, if I go and hunt down hunt marks? Which Kirby games have I played? That's a long list. That is a very, very long list. I've played a lot of them. Personal favorites, Return to Dreamland. Kirby Planet Robobot is probably my favorite of the franchise. Forgotten Land is very good. Star Allies, I was not a big fan of until the DLC. Now that we're talking about Dark Matter, right? Yeah. God. Some of the like Kirby 64, I'm surprised got the rating it did with how like 0-2 and everything is. All right, so now we're here with the storms. Hi, my name is the name. This is unfortunate because the name doesn't speak. That was one thing I wanted to make sure that the name doesn't speak. So, I think what I'm gonna do is everyone who's currently in attendance, you're all going to have to look away for a brief moment. So there we go. I'm just gonna stare at the officer awkwardly for a little bit. Okay, there we go. See? Alright, we didn't say anything. Perfect. I'll have to dye my gear if I want to look the part of as part of the Maelstrom. I don't need the red cloak. Remember the original Zero? Yeah, that was Kirby 3. Kirby Dream Land 3, I think, was with the original Zero, if I remember correctly. Because it was Kirby's Adventure, then it was Nightmare in Dreamland, then I think it was Kirby's Adventure 3, or whatever they called it in the West. I think that one had Zero. Kirby's a lot of fun. The first series I did in this channel was over Kirby, and that was very scuffed. I'm still very disappointed on how that ended out, because I got screwed over hard by my computer. Ever played Return to Dreamland with friends over? I played the original Return to Dreamland with my dad in co-op. That's how I experienced that one. But I did not get the remaster they made yet, at least. I might make videos over Return to Dreamland, but we'll see. That's the one on the Wii, right? Yes, that's the Wii one. Okay, I'm not an official member of the Maelstrom yet. Okay, but this gives me a chance to look at this stuff. Okay, so at a lower rank, I can get Ventures, Antidotes. Okay, well, I can get Dark Matter, and this is used to repair stuff. I don't know, is there any other way I can get Dark Matter other than Grand Company stuff that isn't a vendor? Favorite power-up for Kirby? If we're excluding just the Robobot in general, probably Poison. Or, I like Poison, and I like, well, either Poison or Mirror. Those are probably my two favorites. Which game is Poison? Planet or Robobot? It's basically a reskinned version of Water, but, it has like it has a damage over time effect as well. I think Desynth, but not consistently. Yeah, of course. I don't know how. I guess I would probably. Well, no, I couldn't craft it in the Desynth it. I would probably have to find the gear, and then immediately Desynth it for Dark Matter. Okay. I mean, when can I actually start repairing gear? Like, what's the level range that I can start doing that? Used to repair equipment for levels 1 through 30. Well, yeah, cool, but what level do I need my crafters to be at? Final Fantasy XIV. When can I start repairing my own gear? I need to have a high enough repair level. Okay, well, that doesn't really help me. Okay. And then there's the engineering and survival manuals, which would help me level my crafters and gatherers. But we'll see about that. But I can get Dark Matter. Oh, I can get food from here. I can get certain crafting materials, which is nice. But I don't think there's anything like super valuable. You ever plan to showcase Smash stuff? I don't know. I don't know what I would do with Smash Brothers. I mean, I'm not exactly the greatest at the game. I mean, I'm good enough to win a few like local tournaments that my school, like the school clubs hosted, but I didn't get very far in the actual the biggest tournament that I entered. I got top 64 out of like 200 people, which was pretty good for me. But once I reached like that top 64, I got my butt kicked. Let's see here. A lot of this is just mumbo jumbo to me because I'm not a crafter or gatherer. But I mean, it doesn't seem like there's anything major in here. Skill cap is very high. Yes, it is. I kind of moved on to the more, well, I don't know if traditional would be the right word, but like standard fighting games. I would say the two I've currently been dabbling with is Guilty Gear and Grand Blue Versus. Especially since Grand Blue Versus got a re-release recently that made a lot of changes that I really like. Okay, so we need to go to Lower Lenosha. Alright, well, I can make that walk from over here. And I think I'm a lot better at those games than I was at Smash Brothers, but also Guilty Gear in general is really difficult to learn. But Grand Blue's pretty easy to pick up and play pretty easily, because it has a lot of like, oh, you want to use this combo? Well, there's only like 1 or 2 button presses you need to do. So it's just a matter of just, you know, pushing 8 inputs for a combo instead of like 20 or 30, which I'm a big fan of. There's an Aetheryte here in Lower Lenosha, but why did they not put one here by Red Rooster's stead, I wonder? Whatever. I don't think it's worth questioning. Unfortunate, though. I know I walked this way for the oranges, which I might grab more of so I can have some orange juice, which I actually have 11 orange juice. I don't think I have anything on my honey log for this, do I? Who do you like to play in Smash? I kind of jump all over the place. I would say probably the 2 characters I reliably play the best and enjoy playing are Byleth and the Aegis, Fire and Mithra. Those are probably the 2 I play the most. I'm a big sword person in Smash Brothers, so I kind of just play that entire archetype. Outside of swordies, I will probably default to Mario, because he's simple enough. Let's see here. I like Sephiroth. The friends I usually play with don't like me playing Sephiroth because of his Shadow Flare button. They get very angry at Shadow Flare. At least it's nice they buff Mario a lot. Yeah, he's been pretty good for a while, if I remember right. He's been pretty good. Let's see here. What do I... Oh, it's a solo instance. That's right. We have to save Biggs and Wedge. If you played Brawl, Mario really sucked. I did play Brawl. I usually played Kirby in Brawl. I usually played Kirby. I was one of those people that jumped up really high into the air and just did stone attacks over and over and over again. Since Mario's designed to be balanced, but the power creep is so high. Yeah, I remember the top characters of Brawl were just like undefeated, like Meta Knight and Diddy Kong and whatnot, and maybe Ice Climbers, I think, as well. Oh, hey, it's a Dodo. What's up? The Ironworks is here. Nice. I think this is the first time you actually deal with the Garleans directly. Meta Knight, Ice Climbers, Diddy Kong, Snake, Falco, yeah. Those sound familiar as top tiers. I wasn't into competitive Smash Brothers at that time, so it was basically like a bunch of my friends. We played Kirby, we played Link, Ganon, and like Captain Falcon and whatnot. Fan of Ganon Dork and Melee. Brawl was my first game in the franchise, so I didn't get to play Melee for a while. I didn't have a GameCube. I don't remember there being anything too difficult about this solo instance. I know there's a giant mech. Oh, my dogs are going crazy now. Okay, that was unexpected. I had to deal with an animal issue. Sorry about that. Was not meaning to leave so abruptly. I've got a damn zoo in my house, so it is a miracle that there aren't as many editing interruptions in my official videos as there are. Got 3 dogs, 2 cats, and a bird, and it's a fun time trying to record stuff with them. Let's see here. Okay, so our main objective, I think as I was saying, I don't think there's anything too crazy here, if I remember right. I know there's a giant mech we need to kill, but it's just a bunch of straight line AoEs, if I remember right. Have you ever experienced your favorite character suddenly being bad in the sequel? Ugh. Let's see here. I mean, Cloud was worse in Ultimate than he was in Smash 4, but not much worse. And then he played Melee. Yeah, I remember Kirby being pretty bad in Melee, even though I didn't play it. I played Mega Man a lot in Smash 4, and he isn't as good as he is. In Ultimate, he's not as good as he was in Smash 4. Yeah, it's not that big. I don't think I've really lost much. Okay, I'm not allowed to meditate early here. Are there any healers? I don't think there's any healers in this encounter. Which is fine. There we go. Oh, they're level 20. I don't know why I'm missing then. They never got rid of accuracy, I guess. Okay, there shouldn't be... I know that there's a big machine that we fight here. I think it went from OP to slightly above average or something. Yeah, I mean, he still is pretty dominant from what I remember. I haven't followed competitive Ultimate for about 2 years now. Almost every other top tier else got a bit weak. Got to be weaker, yeah. I know Bayonetta got hit really hard because the friend that I play Smash with the most played Bayonetta. Like, that is the only character he plays, and he was very depressed with Ultimate because they took her down a few tiers. I just used to go Monk at the start because I thought it'd be funny. That's literally it. I had absolutely no strategy for when it came to the job I picked. So I just went with my gut, and I was like, you know what? It'll be funny. I'm gonna go with this instead. And there have been times where I've already felt the effects of that, like whenever I was doing Sestasha and I was running with a tank that didn't use tank stance, I would do if I did any positionals correct, oh, it was over. It was over for me. So I had to like moderate my damage quite a bit. Some character reputations turn around in the sequel. Yeah, well, like Palutena was really bad in Smash 4 if I remember right. Okay, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. So we have gotten our Grand Company now with this, so we can check that off our list. I was looking at our attacks, and I was wondering why they were slower than Ganondorf. Well, you know, it's a big staff. But she went to the gym in between games. Man, I'm really hoping for another Kid Icarus game. Maybe with the new console that Nintendo's bringing out next year, by next year. But we'll see. I was surprised to see that news. Maybe with the Direct that they're holding in June, we'll get Bravely information. Because that's kind of what I'm waiting for. Because I'm at a point right now where I could probably announce a new Bravely project officially and have it ready to go for the summer. But I also don't want to do that for them to immediately be like, hey, by the way, here's a new game, or here's a port of some of the older games, and it revamps and changes everything, and it screws over all of my current research. So that's why I'm kind of playing it safe right now when it comes to Bravely stuff, because I just am a little paranoid that I might get screwed over if I act too quickly. Because that happened with Bravely Default originally. Like, basically, as soon as I began planning for Bravely Default and was about midway through the project, they announced that they were shutting down the online stuff for it, so I couldn't do Narende Village the way I wanted to. So I had to improvise midway through. Is that also the same for the remakes of, like, TTYD? So I was already planning on doing videos over Thousand Year Door. I had the plan. I had, like, an emulator ready to go. I was already planning on doing that, so getting a remake was a nice little bonus. Because I was planning on doing T2ID stuff probably around the fall of this year. Like, I had a roadmap ready to go, but because of the remake, I was like, oh, I'll push that forward because the remake will be coming out soon. So I've pushed basically the plans I had earlier this year further back, so I can fit room for T2ID. Because I'm a single person working on these games, so working on these videos, so I have to plan things very far in advance because these are a lot of work. Is the remake not out yet? No, it comes out on May 23rd. And I plan to have videos out for it either by the end of the month or early into June. Got the original Thousand Year Door, so I'm not that interested in the remake. Yeah, I don't know if they'll make any significant changes. Yeah, it's in about 2.5 weeks or so. Well, it's like 15 days from now. So, yeah. And I hope to have videos over Thousand Year Door out by the end of the month or early June. That's the hope. Whether it's a playthrough or like a mini series. I would miss your TDY stuff then. Oh, don't worry. I'll be making sure to put community posts out and everything over it. And I'm trying to revive my social media account, at least on Twitter. So we'll see if I commit to that or not, and that'll be where I post videos as well. Okay, so this should allow us to officially join the Maelstrom. What's Twitter? Oh man. It's what do they call it now? X? I don't know. It still says twitter.com for me. Okay, yeah, no, now we're in Maelstrom. I mean X, right? Yeah, right. The Google tab that I have for it still has the Twitter icon on it, and it still says twitter.com. So I have not made the shift yet. So I just call it Twitter. Okay, so we're now in the Maelstrom for absolutely no reason at all except for the voices within my head telling me to do so, which would be a wheel. I think I should write that down for a script joke, but we'll see. I've also dabbled in other social media platforms like Instagram, but I think I'm too technologically inept to figure out how to work those platforms. I think I might just stick to YouTube, Twitter /X, and if I decide to continue doing these streams, I might figure out how to stream on Twitch as well. Because I am mostly just doing this on YouTube because it's currently where my entire platform is. All right, well, ... No love for grandiose proclamations. Yes. Well, the name can't speak, so you can't really do much else. You can stream both on once? Yes, you can. You can do it with Streamlabs, which is currently what I'm using to stream this. But I have to get the paid version, and then I have to figure out how to co-stream. I'm sure it's probably 1 or 2 button presses, but I haven't looked into it. I'm currently using the free version of Streamlabs, which isn't nearly as glamorous, but it works for what I'm doing. Private name. There we go. There's our new monikers. Private name. The name's name is private. Okay. So I don't know if this should be something... Oh, we can get our chocobo. I don't know if this should be something that we should determine right now, or if this is something that I should think about a little bit more carefully. And if I should decide to do... If I should ban GC seals. Alright, well there's the active help for Grand Company, active help for supply and provisioning missions. We can grab this quest for our chocobo, which will be very, very useful. I am not banning chocobos, so that will be nice for getting around the map. Let's see here. I think I'll hold off on deciding GC seals and... Oh wait, no, I need Grand Company seals to purchase the chocobo, right? Wait, hang on. I think I need that. Maybe I do. I don't know. I don't remember. They might have changed that. I know that you had to originally have to buy your chocobo license. So if I ban Grand Company seals, I won't get my chocobo, which means I don't think I can ride mounts at all. I think you need your chocobo in order to ride mounts initially. I know originally you need a license to ride your chocobo. You need to buy it from your Grand Company in order to ride it. And then that would unlock mounts in general. But I don't remember if they changed that, because they did a big MSQ update for A Realm Reborn originally. Oh yeah, present a Storm Chocobo. Okay, yeah, no, we need to buy it. Thankfully, this is a side quest, so if I decide to ban Grand Company seals, I can just hide this and I won't need to worry about it. Okay, so let's go back and... Because I don't think I have any seals at all. So this will be important to figure out whether or not I want to ban Grand Company seals or not. So let's see. I don't know what it is. Do you need a license to ride horses? No, as soon as you unlock your chocobo, you can ride any other mount. Okay, it's only 200 seals. I think it was originally 2,000, if I remember right. Okay. I have 0 seals, but I do think I have a hunting log now? Yeah, I have a Maelstrom hunting log, which will give me enough. Do you need a license to ride horses in real life? I think if it's on your private property, you don't. But I think if you're going to ride horses in public, you do. If I remember correctly. Because there are people that ride horses around where I live occasionally, but obviously not on the road. They just kind of ride them in their property. But I don't know if they need a license to do that. I think they don't need it if it's their private property. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna ban GC seals. Well, this is difficult. I think I might just wait. I might wait on this, and we'll decide at the end of the stream. So then, what can I do instead? I go to the Waking Sands, okay. And it's a new concept for me to need a license to ride animals. Yeah, I know you need... Well, let's see here. I know you need a license... Well, actually, no. I don't think you need a license for... I know you need a permit for bull riding. But that's part of a whole thing that I don't know very much about. So I'm not even going to try and say I have any good information on bull riding. Okay, so let's deal with the MSQ first, and then we'll see where we go from here. Airship landing. And then I've grabbed all of the Disciple Hand and land, I think, right? I think I have. Yes, I have. So we can check that off. And then we can check this off, because I've done this. And then we've got to figure out, is that they are aggressive? I think it's just because bull riding is considered a... I don't know if it's considered a sport, but it is dangerous. But if you're going to, like, perform at, like, a rodeo, I think you need a permit for it, or a license for it. But don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. Why am I going here? I can just use... I can go to Vesper Bay through these teleports. I think some items could be unrestricted for Grand Company. They fall off soon anyway, mostly. Yeah, I don't expect Grand Company seals to really save me past, like, level 50 when it comes to crafting and gathering. I would assume after that it becomes, like, sacks of nuts and Centurio seals and everything that'll get me what I want, which I don't even think I should consider figuring out what to do with those right now. I've got to make it there first. So we'll figure that out if I make it to past Realm Reborn. Oh, this just gives me 300 Storm Steels right there. Oh, well, I can go get Chocobo right. So, I mean, I'll get seals naturally just because of quests, but it's just a matter of whether or not they're allowed. Do you think the concept of needing a license to ride Chocobo is weird? So, it's... So the idea is, I guess it was mostly used as an incentive for you to actually contribute to the Grand Company and do fates, because that's how you usually got seals. So they were just, you know, for gameplay reasons, it makes sense, because they just wanted you to interact with the gameplay and the features. In terms of lore, I guess having a license to ride Chocobos, especially if they're under the banner of your Grand Company, would make sense. Because I don't think they'd want people, you know, walking around with Maelstrom banners on their Chocobo willy-nilly, especially if they aren't part of the Maelstrom. So, you know, I guess maybe that makes a little bit of sense. But nothing else in this game requires a license to ride. I mean, you get, like, a black Chocobo in Heaven's Ward, but that's just a reward for completing a quest. And for being, a ward of the House Hoshivon. So, I don't know if that would be considered a license. Oh, what a big cast of characters. I can't wait to see how all of them grow and change over the course of the narrative. Are you allowed to carry weapons? In, like... in real life, you need a license for that. Or you need, like, a license for concealed carry, or... At least here in the United States. I don't know about anywhere else. In this game, yeah, I mean, we have an armory chest. We don't need a license for that in the game. That's Final Fantasy XII, that you need a license. in Final Fantasy XII, you need to purchase a license to use certain weapons. In this game, no, they just all sit in my pocket. I just have big pockets. Okay, we're gonna hold off on this main scenario quest. I don't think I'll proceed any further with my MSQ for this stream, but there are a few other things we need to figure out before I call it. So weapons are fine, but Chocobo's a no-no. I think it mostly has to do with, like, I think it's more of a political thing, if I had to guess. You know, because if we get our Chocobo, which I think I will, you'll see that it has the Maelstrom banner on it, which they probably will only distribute Chocobos to people who work in grand companies or are under the employ of someone who can afford Chocobos, so that it's, you know, Chocobos are regulated. Now, obviously, I'm sure there's an answer somewhere in the lore for this game, but I would need to figure that out. Maybe that's something we can look into. That's my guess, though, is that it has to do with, you know, the Maelstrom. The Maelstrom just doesn't want people riding around with Maelstrom Banner Chocobos. That's why we need a license to get a Maelstrom Chocobo. Again, I could be wrong. I'm sure there might be something when it comes to, like, oh, maybe these businesses have a monopoly on Chocobos, and so if you want to use their Chocobos, you have to rent out a license or something. Okay, yeah, we're just going to allow Grand Company seals. But I think I am going to ban mending. I think for right, I mean, I don't expect to get into much into anything crazy when it comes to combat for the rest of the stream. So I think I have time to really sit down and ponder that. But we're going to allow Grand Company seals, especially since they fall off later on, so they're not as useful after a certain point. It'll also allow me to get my Chocobo, but I will start to seriously consider banning Menders. And I will also seriously consider whether or not I want to keep retainers in. Because I could get a retainer right now, or 2 retainers right now, and just have those, and I mean, that would be an extra 300 inventory spaces. Or I could just not use them and make it to where I have to level up all of these crafters and gatherers and my pugilist with the small limited inventory space and Chocobo saddlebag that I've got. So that is probably the next thing. That'll probably be the last thing that we decide on here today, will be whether or not I want to allow retainers. Also, we've got to name our Chocobo. Have I ever played Resident Evil? I have. I have played Resident Evil. I played the VR versions of 7 and 8. I think the game is inventory space management. Yes, it does. You have a limited amount of inventory, and you play Tetris to manage it, basically. You gotta rotate things around in your little bag. Okay, so we need to name our Chocobo. I wonder what we should name it. Are there spaces? There are no spaces. Okay. Chocobo. The chicken, yeah. The chicken. Or, well, I don't know, the bird. Or something. I think it should be the something. Hot Wings. Yeah, maybe. I don't remember if it's something that, like, oh, you can't have the same name as someone else or not. I don't remember. I don't think there's any rule against name overlap. Let's see here. What would be funny? I was kidding? Nah, okay. We weren't gonna eat our Chocobo, right? Well, if I get EXP out of it, maybe. We'll see. I know we can technically eat Chocobo in Heaven's Ward, because there's a whole, like, Chocobo hunting, town, Tailfeather. Emergency food, yes, that's exactly what it would be. Let's see here. I think we're gonna go with the bird. Quay. Alright. Now, the name has the bird. I dare say he likes his name. I hope so. It's quite the name. The name hops on the bird. That sounds bad. Okay, we got personal Chocobos now. Let's go. What do you think of the name Paimon? It brings back bad memories. I was not a big fan of Genshin Impact. I know Paimon is technically a name from another, from a mythos, but I associate that name with Genshin. Out of the Hoyo game, the Hoyoverse games, I definitely prefer Star Rail. Okay, so now we've got the bird here, which I don't know where I'll put you. I'm gonna put you right here, the bird. There we go. We've got the bird on our hotbar now. Okay, So then we've got that done. The bird is the word, yes. So then I think we should go and figure out if we are going to allow retainers. So the benefits of a retainer is we get extra inventory space, which is nice, and we can also level them up based on either Pugilist or our Crafters and Gatherers. We can level them up with Ventures, which will be allowed since we're allowing GC seals. We can level them up, and they can get us resources as we level them up. Now, if we ban retainers, I won't have any of that. So I'll have less inventory space to manage these jobs, and I won't have any extra resources like dye, if I want dye, or raw materials to craft stuff. So there's a little bit... so honestly, the inventory space would probably be the biggest loss. Because, I mean, right now, my inventory is already over a quarter full with a bunch of junk. So this would be a big thing I would need to worry about. Now, obviously, a lot of this, like the bronze pieces and whatnot, are completely worthless because I can't sell these. I don't have a vendor to sell them with. So, they're completely pointless. So, I can always just get rid of these. But retainers, so I don't know. I mean, obviously, I could consult the almighty wheel and we could figure it out that way. But I don't know. This is a difficult decision. I think if I allow retainers, though, I will ban mending. Because I want there to be a big restriction added this stream. And I think it should be either menders or retainers that I ban. I feel like getting them, this is not RuneScape, and the game does not really respect inventory slots. That is true. That is true. If I ever get retainers, though, I will ban mending, because I will have a lot of benefits, and I want to make sure there's at least one major restriction added here. So... Because, I mean, I've made a small list. I haven't... So, out of the list... The only thing that I haven't really talked about too much today in terms of restricting is, should I still allow myself to grab dungeon duty gear? Because there was the idea that I could only use gear that I've made. And I'm not allowed to use duty gear. Now, obviously, I have not followed that rule yet because I did not implement it. But I could make that a rule. Or I could just be like, dungeon gear is a saving grace, and I can just rely on that. And not worry about... I'd just be switching out my gear often. But then repairing wouldn't really matter all that much. So... maybe I don't accept quest gear, but allow dungeon gear? I don't know. Does this game remind you of RuneScape? Personally, no. I've never played RuneScape, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Let's see here. If I ban quest gear, but I allow dungeon gear, then it becomes all about luck on what I get. And for the most part, I don't think a lot of dungeons for a little while give you accessories. So... I could ban quest gear. Or it could be vice versa. I allow quest gear, but I ban dungeon gear. So that some of the extra side quests that this game has could actually be worth going and completing. And then I leave dungeon gear alone. I could do that. Because dungeon gear will always be better than crafted gear until level 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So I'm curious. I mean, either way, it's going to be a lot of luck, and I would still get extra gear, so mending my armor wouldn't be too big of a deal. And I could always just keep crafting better and better gear. But I think... Okay. I think I should allow quest gear, but ban dungeon gear, because then I can actually work on my crafters and gatherers gear. Because I can't get crafting gear from dungeons, so then that would give me an option to work on crafting gear. That would also incentivize me to actually go and do side quests, which would be something that I don't really do all that much for 14. Let's see here. So I could do that. Oh, there's also leave quests. I never really messed with that too much. But leave quests fall off... They fall off hard for Disciple of War and Magic jobs. But Disciples of Hand and Land really need those, like, past level 60. So, I would assume I should keep leave quests around. Well, no, because they use custom deliveries, right? And those aren't the same as leaf quests. Curious. I don't know. This is difficult. I have a lot of ideas, but not really a clear plan. Because I don't want to make this run impossible, but I also want to complete this run before the heat death of the universe. So, I don't want to make it boring, but I also don't want to make it literally unsolvable. Okay. I think I have an idea. I'm going to pitch this idea here. So what makes it entertaining? Honestly, that's more for me, because when it comes to what you guys see, I could do a little bit of editing magic and at least make it somewhat engaging, even if it's not the most exciting video in the world. But I want to make sure that I'm having fun making this series. So I'm trying to make it to where I will enjoy making this series and that it's something that you guys will enjoy watching. Leaves are okay, crazy amount of EXP, but Omnicrafting really burns 100 allowances quick. Okay. So that was kind of the idea. I was going to, ban dungeon gear. That was the first thing. From this point onward, I would ban dungeon gear. I would allow quest gear. I would allow leaf quests. I don't know about custom deliveries. We're not there yet. And I would allow retainers, but I would ban menders. How does that sound? So, ban dungeon gear, allow quest gear, allow leaf quests, allow retainers, but ban menders. We could do that. Because that's two pretty big bans. That's removing dungeon gear and removing menders from the equation. But that allows me... But I still have a few options for actually getting things that I need without removing my entire right side when I do content. Also, I'd be able to make a funny name for the retainers. To be fair, that sounds strong. Vendors banned already locks so many possibilities. I mean, yeah, it does. I mean, it locks a lot of easy ways to make crafting stuff early on. It locks healing items. And in terms of gear, it removes a lot of options for the first 50 levels. And even... Because, I mean, vendors don't really matter all that much past Orama Born, if I remember correctly. At least I haven't really used them all that much. And then... Because, I mean, like, there's a few things you can get with vendors from Heavensward onward. which I honestly shouldn't be worrying about that right now. However, I do want to make sure that this is at least somewhat interesting. Custom deliveries are actually impossible for crafters without vendors. Ah, okay. So that would be something I would need to worry about later on. Okay, okay. Because, well, is that like standard vendors, or is that tomestones and scripts? Because I actually don't know if I'm going to ban scripts and tomestones yet. I'm currently leaning towards banning them. No, it's Gil? Oh, okay, okay. Well, then I'll leave that way. I will leave that for I'll leave that pain for whenever I get there, because yeah, I'll keep that ban in place, because I haven't decided if I'm gonna ban tomestones or scripts yet. I'm leaning on banning them, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I think for right now we'll make a 2 retainers. Hire a retainer. So we need to make a retainer. Alright now. Okay. We've got to make ourselves a retainer. How do we do this? How do we want to approach this? I mean, I could technically just make them all the name, which would be really funny. I could just make them all the name. But I don't know. Should we just go with basic character? So we get the... Where's the hairstyle? We just go with this. You know, it's just standard protagonist. This is where Derplander went. He went to be a servant for the name. That'd be funny. Actually, I think I do have... Yeah, nickname. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Oh my goodness, that's actually pretty funny. I could do the Asahi haircut. You do the Asahi haircut. That could be funny. Because I remember making a character that was like the ugliest thing I could think of, and he had like really nasty, dirty blonde hair. That was like, it was kind of like this. It was not pretty at all. But I don't know if I want to do that again. I save that for a rainy day. If I'm going to do nickname, I think that actually would work for Elizin if I did nickname. I don't know why, that just seems like an Elizin name. Actually, no, we'll go with the what is this? This is we're making a retainer for the name. We're making a retainer right now. And we're trying to figure out if we want to make it entirely a joke, or if we want to actually do something serious with it. That's what we're trying to figure out. The spy type is eh. Yeah, he's kind of a string bean. I mean, we can increase his muscle tone, but that won't really change much. Yeah, I think I'll make 2 retainers, since that's the most I can make without having to pay money. 1 serious, 1 joke. Okay. Alright, then let's make the serious one first. So, alright, put in your input. What should I consult the mighty wheel to figure out what race we go with? I think the mighty wheel is probably the best way for me to do this. I think that is, yeah, go the wheel. All right. Let me switch this over. Okay, so we've got here, Elizin, Lalafell, Rogaden, Aura, Vieira, Hrothgar, and I think that's it. Right? Am I missing one? Mikode. Cat. Alright, cool. Alright, let's see here. What is going to be our first retainer? It is going to be Alra, it looks like. Alright. And then let's... I guess actually I should probably make another wheel that is male and female. So then we can have that. Okay. Switch back over. Let's figure out if we're going to have a male or female Aura. It is going to be male Aura. Okay. Well, that is interesting. I haven't made a male Aura character in, like, I think since the Heavensward benchmark. So, male Aura is our... Alright, this is our base. We can go with Rain or Zayla. I don't think we should consult Mighty Wheel for this. I think we should just figure out which one looks funnier. Or cooler. I guess this could be our serious character. So, let's see here. Rain have the lighter scales. Zayla have the darker scales. Let's see. Which one do we like more? Do we want to go with the lighter scales, darker scales? I think you could probably do more in terms of, like, design with the lighter scales, personally. I also prefer Rain over Zayla in terms of aesthetics, which I think is an unpopular opinion. So, you know what, screw it. Let's go with Zayla, because I want to see if I can change that opinion. Do we want to keep this face, or do we want to update it? We've got a few faces here. We've got this one. Got this one. It also changes the scales, so we've got, like, kind of this curved scale look. This one has kind of, like, their scales and horns are on their sides right here that are more parallel with the face. Got this one right here. I forget what the infamous Aura face is. I think it's this one. It's either this one or this one. I forget which one it is. I forget which infamous Aura face is the correct one. Let's see here. I think, personally speaking, this is always the one I've usually gone for, whether it's male or female. I like the parallel horns. So I think we might go with this one. We need to figure out the tail. One without the third ones? Does this one not have scales? Oh yeah, his face is kind of clear. Wait, is there a way we can change that? I don't think so. I don't think we can add more scales. We can add a limbo rings to his eyes, but... Oh, yeah, well, we can technically add more. This is about as much as we can get. But I think the standard one was this. Oh, yeah, yo, look at that chin. It's insane. Dude's got a chin. Alright, you know what? We'll go with this one. We'll go with this one. Okay, let's figure out the tail. Should he have... I wonder if he should have a big one. Or if he should have a small, thin one. Alright, usually I just go with maximum length tail. I think it's cooler. Whenever I make a race with tails. I thought the curse face you meant I mean, maybe. I think so. I mean, we could go with the curse face. Even if this is the serious character, we still could give him the curse face. I don't know. Male Aura in general get a pretty bad vibe, you know, usually. They're usually not well liked in their communities. Especially if they're Zayla and if they're Dark Knights. I don't know, man. This is actually kind of difficult to come up with a solution. You know, let's go with this one. When it comes to tail, let's go with the middle of the road one. What's the short tail look like? It's pretty short. What's the difference? Oh wow, that's actually pretty big difference. Okay. Let's go with the long tail. What skin tone should they be? So Zayla generally have pretty darker complexions. I mean, obviously we could make them like super duper pale. Yeah, he does kind of start out looking like Sonic, doesn't he? I don't know if that's on purpose. I think this is just kind of like a basic... this is like the basic model for them. Ace Attorney... Yeah, he did... Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Can make him look like Phoenix Wright if we change his hair color darker, you know? Be Phoenix Wright. So let's see here. Skin tone... We can make him very blue. You can also make them, like, a corpse, you know? Make him very empty here. I don't know. I think we'll go with this kind of, this darker blue here. I think this looks pretty good. And then we've got a lot of hair options. Let's see here. What's good lighting? This looks okay for lighting. We've got a few hair options here. Now the horns kind of make it difficult to look at like what exactly we're supposed to be seeing. There are horns right here. Is orange face an option? I don't know for the Zayla, since they're usually... I mean, I don't think that you can really get one. I know that because the Zayla have more like cold colors for their skin options. I think the Rain are probably more warm colors. Let's see here. What's the Phoenix Wright look alike with an orange face? That's right, it was I forget what trial that was called. It was like Rise from the Ashes, right? No. It wasn't that one. It was in the second game, I think, that he had a lookalike. I think I might be thinking of the cop boss from the first game originally. Third game, really? With Godo. Oh, right, that was the company that you were going against. It was like the company. We can give him the Thancred hair. This is difficult. I think for the joke character, we should give them a pompadour. I think for this guy, though, we should give him something a little bit more professional. I kind of like this hairstyle, honestly. Maybe something a teeny bit more refined. Furio Tigre. Oh, yeah. Okay, no, I think we're gonna go with this. In terms of hair color, maybe it was darker complexion. I don't really know if there's like a good hair color for him. I don't want him to have basically skin color hair. So we might just stick with maybe a lighter, maybe a black with some gray bits in there. Show his age. Recipe for Turnabout. Yes. I think I remember that one. That's the case name. think this looks pretty alright. Okay, so then we need to figure out jaw. Let's see if we can get some better lighting on his jaw. Maybe go to the... Alright, this is a bit better here. Yo, can we give him a big chin? Yo, look at that. This could kill people right here. We're taking that, we're taking that. Rise from the Ashes, yeah, I think that's the end of the first game, if I remember right. Trying to make like kind of like an older scholarly type, so let's kind of go with some soft eyes. Maybe because I played them in order. Yeah. I went in order too. I need to play the Ace Attorney Chronicles, whatever the one that takes place like 100 years before the base games. I need to play that one. I haven't played that one. Let's turn off Limbo Reigns for right now. That's one thing about the graphics update for Dawnchild I'm looking forward to, is the Limbo Reign update. You can't do in the previous 4 cases. Yeah, I think that was added because it was a port. Because it was part of like the port of the original game. Let's give him some like light green eyes. We won't do odd eyes though. The Limbo Rings are a little difficult to use, so I think I'm actually gonna keep them off. In terms of eyebrows, let's... I don't know, he looks angry and everything. I think this is okay. There we go. And the nose. I mean, his nose right now is okay. Yo, we can turn it into a spike. I think this looks alright. Any case I dislike? I wasn't a big fan of the samurai case in the first game. I didn't like that one very much. I don't know, what else? My favorite case is the second game's final case, the one with the movie star. That is my favorite one by a mile. I'm not gonna worry about lip color. I think we should keep the eyebrows. It showed a different side of Miles Edrith. It did. I just thought the case kind of dragged on a little too much. I mean, I personally had it solved pretty fast. So, it was kind of an example of, I was just kind of waiting for the characters to catch up with me, and it got annoying. The final case of the first game, none of the first game cases really stumped me. The second game cases were a little harder. In terms of tattoos, I don't think we should really do much with this guy. Maybe add some blush or something. Just so he has a little bit of life in his cheeks. But I don't want to go too overboard. Nah, let's just not. You had to click on what was wrong with the photo? Yeah. I can see that stumping people. Okay, I think this is actually pretty alright. I really don't care too much about the voice since we don't hear it all that much, so we can... I won't save the appearance data. Yeah, I eventually figured it out. Alright, and then what should we give this guy? I think he should... Let's make him polite. I kind of made like an older individual who's just kind of here to do his job. So let's make him polite. because he's a professional. And since this is our serious character, let's give him an actual name. Now, unfortunately, this does follow the rules of you cannot have multiple of each name, so we've got to figure out something unique for him. Let's see here. The first idea I had was actually a joke name, and I don't want to do that. I want to give him something serious. I don't remember the nomenclature of the Zayla. I'd have to look at it. So, let's see here. I'm trying to think of something that's lore accurate, so let me go grab my book real quick. Let's consult the encyclopedia. Favorite Ace Attorney characters? Probably Godo is probably the top of that list, followed by Miles. Any characters I don't like? I usually have the unpopular opinion of not liking Maya too much. Oh wait, no. This is the third one. I need to get the first one. Alright, the first book. Okay. Don't like Francisca? Neither do I. Okay, I need to find the Al Ra page here, so I can figure out what the nomenclature of the Zayla are. If I'm going to do this right, I'm going to do this right. Let's see here. Relatively orthodox, composed of a given name and a tribal name. Oh, they come up with spellings of their own devising, so I kind of just am back at step one. I gotta figure this out myself. Maya's alright, there are worse sidekicks later down the series. I concur. I think you are absolutely right. Alright. Alright, well, let's go with my standard guess for right now. Jonathan. Is that available? Alright, well, I tried. Alright, Jonathan is not available. That's unfortunate. The police guy with the megaphone, yeah, he's kind of annoying, isn't he? Same with the old bag, I think her name is. I mean, she's funny, but she gets on my nerves after a while. Let's go, is there a more Jonathan, but more professional? I don't know. Let's see here. Jonathaniel? Alright. Let's see if that works. Jonathaniel. Aha! There we go. Alright. There you go, Spariel. You have put your place on this series. You have named our serious retainer with a serious name and a serious nature. Actually, it's a polite nature. Alright, we have Jonathaniel now. There are hit moments like all four of her psyche locks are ridiculously easy to break with a bribe. Yeah, well, you know. I find that pretty funny. Okay, well, we need to make another retainer, and this time, we are going to make the dumbest thing possible. So I'm going to bring the wheel back up, and we are going to figure out what race sounds more Ellison, but whatever. You know what? We can bypass the rules of naming things once or twice, you know? Alright, so we need... Let's not do an Al Ra. Let's not double up. So we will do I will bring up Makote, Ro, Hrothgar, and Vieira. But we will not bring in an Aura. Okay, so then I'm going to bring this over to the wheel. We are here at the wheel now. So let's see what we got. What is our next retainer going to be? It is going to be a Lullafell. Okay, well, we can make something with this. And then, will our Lullafell be male or female? Ooh, this will be close. It is going to be... Oh, it's going to be male. All right, that was really close. It was right there. Holy moly. Okay. Well, let's bring it back to the game. Yeah, of course the meme is the Lullafell. You know what? I'm fine with that. Alright, it's a male Lullafell that we're going to be working with. Now, so the major difference between the Plainsfolk and the Dunesfolk is their eyes. I think I'm going to go with the Dunesfolk because they don't have the... their pupils they don't have pupils in their eyes. They're just straight colors. Let's make him short. I think that should be the first thing we do. Alright. So I think this is the face we should go with. Either that or this one. I think we should go with this one. I don't know what to do with the skin color. I think we'll come back to the skin color for right now. But the hair... Okay, so we've got a few options here. We can make him almost bald if we want. But this seems a little too easy. We have the pompadour if we want that as well. We have the onion hair. We have the onion hair. We have... You know, we have this. We can make something out of this, probably. We could give him... I don't really think this would count as a mullet. But we could give him something like this. Do hairstyles have actual names? In this game, they do. Well, a lot of the standard hair here doesn't really have a name, but like whenever you purchase hairstyles in this game, they will have names attached to them. I just call this the onion hair because it looks like half an onion. We can give him basically a buzz cut right here. This is more than a buzz cut. We could make him Jesus Christ. We could do that. We have a few options here, and this guy, if we can, we'll give him the nickname. So I guess I mean I could try to make him just a miniature the name, but I don't think I can do that actually. Does he have the same hairstyles? Oh yeah, this is the one I use for the name, so I could do just a miniature nickname. I could just do that. And just have him constantly change look based on what the name is. He's like a Mickey Mouse in Kingdom Hearts. He's always looking the same as Sora. Could do that. But I don't think that's as funny as, like, doing something else. I think I'm gonna go with the Pompadour. And then we'll make it like pink or something. Since you have a lot of I got another alternative name if you accept suggestions. Hit me with it. Don't worry. Let's see here. I'm gonna make like gum hair. Short name. Short name. You know what? I like that. Yeah, Elvis. Yeah. Let's see here. I think making him like blonde or something would be funny. I think making him blonde with like a pink pompadour hair would be really funny. I just want to make something that just does not make sense at all. Because I think that would be even funnier. Let's give him some puffy cheeks. I don't know here. I'm kind of looking at these and I mean, we could keep with this. Just have him have like a... What color combination is done? I don't know. I think this kind of like saturated blonde with this bright pink is pretty dumb. Because it doesn't blend at all together. I think that looks weird. Let's keep him with this like zero, like dude does not want to be here attitude. And then we'll keep with the large iris. And I could give him like bright red eyes or something. Or you go with the yellow or like dude just does not want to be here. Let's give him like pea yellow eyes. There we go. That'll work. Oh, no. Let's give it... yeah, no. This is fine. And then eyebrows. Anything that looks deadpan. That'll work. And then nose. I mean, there's not really much we can do with the nose. Let's give him the big nose. And then mouth. That looks good. Lip color. I don't really... You can't really see anything with the Lalafell lips, so it's not really worth doing anything there. Ear shape. I think this looks pretty funny. And then we could just give him accessories, but I think the mustache is pretty cool. I wish that there was a little bit of pink on it. I wonder if the graphics update has where you get a little bit of the extra color there. Nice stash. Oh, well, I'm sure this is probably the only thing he cares about is grooming his mustache. And then we'll give him some crazy face paint. Big nose really goes back to Tara origins. Yes, it does. Alright, this dude does not upkeep himself at all except for his stash. So we need to give him some like dirt. This bro has seen some shit, dude. This man has been through stuff. There we go. He does not wash up. He doesn't do anything. We'll have him go out. We'll have him go out into the mines. You know, he'll be the miner, or he'll be the fisher or something. Something that requires physical labor, like the botanist, any of the gatherers. We'll have him do it. And then, yeah, there we go. A miner in these clothes. You know what? You know, I think you could go down to the mines in these and be all right. It's like a... Oh, well, it's what's that movie called? Zoolander, you know? You gotta go down to the mines with style. With the right attitude. Okay, well, let's revisit the hair color here. We could do a few things here. We can even change out the hairstyle if we want to make this, like bro does not upkeep himself at all kind of thing. Just do some very dirty hair. Or something like that. I want it to just kind of the opposite of Jonathaniel. I forgot that was his name. Just do this. Like, bro, what am I doing here? All right, well let's pick a base color for the hair. I think the this kind of like darker blonde works. Pink hair. We could do that. You can make it kind of like a darker pink, maybe, or like a bright pink. It's like the base, and then we can do some highlights if we want. Take some, because unfortunately the highlights don't really appear in this hair. So maybe we need to find a piece of hair that actually works with highlights. So let's go with black, so it's easier to see where the highlights are. So the highlights are very easy to see here. He can be a zebra. Highlights aren't easy to see with this one. This one kind of. We could give him the mullet. You know what? I think it'd be smarter if we give him the mullet. I think that'd be smart. So then, for a base color, let's go with like, if we go with like a darker pink, his mustache will then be pink, which we could do. And then we can give him like a darker highlight of like dark green or something. But I think I'd rather take the dark color over and then have the lighter color be the highlight. So we would need to do like kind of like a dark brown into a pink or something. It's difficult making a joke character versus a serious one. I don't know, these two colors together don't look very well, which is kind of the whole point. And I think I mean this looks all right. I mean, he is very short, so the name already works. The short name works. I don't know. I wouldn't want this thing approaching me from, if I saw this like, you know, 20 meters away from me, I wouldn't want this thing approaching me. I wouldn't want short name approaching me. I think this works. Alright. And then, alright, let's do it. Let's do it. And then let's see if short name works out. I don't want the rough one. I want him to be literally like... I want him to be an asshole. The weirdest you can get in this game is bald and random skin color, but this guy is really nice. I'm trying to make sure that he isn't... I don't want him to be like... I want him to be somewhat unique, which is very difficult to do in this game without mods. I don't know, I thought bald would just be kind of boring. So I'm just trying to... Alright, let's do independent, because then he's only speaking in one word, so I think that's funnier. And then short name. There we go. Right? Yeah, short name. There it is. We've got Jonathaniel and short name. Perfect. There we go. We have them figured out now. Yay! We've got the two retainers that are going to be my mules for when it comes to gear. Well, I think I'll figure out what class and job to give them later. I'll probably send short name out into the mines, and Jonathaniel will probably be like a weaver or an alchemist. He'll be something a little bit more professional. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think that will do it for today. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I'm going to officially put in the rules that we've discussed into the run, and then I will see what happens from then. There are still a few things that I want to figure out, but I think for right now, this will have to do it. I'll probably, if I stream this run again, I think what I'll do is I will get through some of the more boring stuff, like the Sylph quests and the, I'll see if I can get through a lot of the more boring stuff, and I might stream the more major things, like Titan or the Ultima weapon, like that kind of arc. I might stream those. But for the most part, I think a lot of this stuff is just kind of boring to watch, personally. So I don't know how you guys feel about it. But if I stream again, it'll definitely be for those. But we'll see how things go. First things first, I gotta hope that this game doesn't get DDoSed again, because that ruined a lot of my plans. Let's see here. Alright, yeah, I think that about wraps it up, though. So, I thank you all for tuning in. It was awesome talking to you guys. And I will make sure to let you all know when, and if and when I do another stream, because I enjoyed this quite a bit. And thank you all for your feedback and knowledge about this game that I don't have a lot of. So, I will see you all soon with hopefully another restriction video. Which actually, I think I am going to change the title of the video currently out, because that was kind of a placeholder. So, anyway, I'm done rambling. I'm going to go ahead and log off, and I will see you guys later. So, thank you for coming.